Yo, so man, I was just sitting here, like watching an interview, watching the Cassidy interview. For those of you who don't know, Cassidy's a rapper. But anyway, I went on his Instagram because usually sometimes I like to peep on rappers' Instagrams and try and find, inspiring shit, like quotes or something like that. But you know how like I said, no more ifs in like my last vlog and shit. Uh I I don't know what happened to me, ever since we moved in this house. But I have no reason to complain about shit. I haven't complained one time since we moved in this house. Once. You know what I'm saying? And excuse this, I know you guys saw this before, but I'm about to go get in the shower. But I really wanted to talk to you guys real quick. But I have no reason in this world to complain about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever since we moved in this house, I'm sure with, my mom and my little brother, especially my mom, things have been hard, because she complains a little bit. Oh, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? The dog the dog she's got, it's not my dog, but the dog she's got, she's always barking and, chewing shit up and, she's shitting around the house sometimes. Uh, little shit like that, how like we got a lot of mess outside because I used to live in this house. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a kid and shit like that. But it's been so long since I was in this house. It's been 10 plus years since I was in this house. You know what I'm saying? 12 plus, but like being here again, I don't have a reason to complain. You know what I'm saying? It's an old house. It's not the best house. It's not the best situation to be in, but it's a hell of a lot better coming from where I was. Being like I can't help but think about it because I'm blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not gonna be here forever. Not living. I'm talking about in this house. I'm not gonna be in this house forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get up out of here. Like, I came from being in my aunt's house. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the first time of me living there, but I used to live in my aunt's house a few years back. You know, like, and it wasn't the best circumstances. Like, I was in a room upstairs, you know, with a lot of shit everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to build up on the room just to make room for me and my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was sleeping on the floor downstairs, and I tried to give her that room with that bed. She ain't take it. You know what I'm saying? There was times when she slept in that bed and I slept on the floor, but like I had that room and it was cramped. You know what I'm saying? I had to deal with, cigarette smoke because my uncle was right there outside the room. To my left, that was his room, and he used to always smoke with his door open, and the smoke would come in my room and shit. Even when I had the door closed, and my mom's stuff was in the room with me, and she'd come in the room every morning and wake me up and shit, and I'd be cranky and upset and aggravated because I'd be up early in the morning and shit. Sometimes I couldn't really record videos because of the noise. But set all of that aside, man, like I made it through that shit. You know what I'm saying? I made it through having those kids bust in that room and interrupt me from recording, people knocking on the door and shit, my uncle telling me to quiet down and shit. I fought through that and still did what I had to do. You know, those days of not having money and shit. I still really don't have money. You know what I'm saying? But I made it through those days, not having my license for almost 10 months, not being able to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, finally getting out of that house after a couple of years and some months and getting in a house that was so far away. We were like in the cut, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a small neighborhood and there was a lot of dumb shit like the place we lived in before we moved here. Like, it wasn't the best place to live, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the worst place to live. But living in that house, it was a lot of noise. Like, we dealt with this dude who had like some kind of a small farm in the back of us, like behind our house, and his chickens and pigs and shit used to run in our yard and shit and fuck up our stuff. Some not even just in our yard, but in other people's yards. And it was unfair. And the train used to make so much noise, and you know, other people with their cars and shit, and people who used to live to our right. They used to cuss and fight and all the like damn near every day, every night. Cops used to get called out there a lot through the week. You know what I'm saying? And we're out of there after a year, man. And now we're in this house and it's memories, you know? But it's like, ever since I got in this house, I stopped giving a fuck about what I don't have. I've been looking forward to the future, man. You know, I've been thinking about what I really want and how blessed I am to, still have my grandparents, because my grandparents live right by me. You know what I'm saying? Walking distance. Not just like, oh, like down the road. Like they live next door. Because we have a house and they have a house right there. So I can just go over there and see my grandparents, and talk to them. And I love them, man. And I'm blessed to have them in my life still. And I pray that when I make it, notice I said when, but when I make it, I still want them to be around me. I still want to have them in my life, even if it's only for a day, a week, a month, a year. I still want to be around them and say, hey, I made it. And I want y'all to be a part of this. I want to be able to show y'all my grandparents one day. Not yet though, but I don't want to wait too long. But I don't have a reason to complain about shit. You know, I'm in this small ass room, hot, always sweating in there. I'm sweating now. You guys really can't see it, but I'm gonna show you guys how small my room is, just to give you an idea of like how much I really don't give a fuck, because I won't be in here long. Peep that. That's my bed right there. You see how close my dresser is, like the little stand thing and shit is to my bed. I don't have a chair. It's like I got my drawers right there. There's my door right there. Look at that little bit of space. And right over here is like a little hole, like a little small area where I keep my little net baskets for my dirty clothes. And I got my little small box over there with little small shit. And I got where I keep my socks and my gym shorts and shit. And I got my fan because it is hot, and a little window right there. But I had to block those because it was just too dark. But anyway, you guys understand where I'm coming from, man. Like, I'm in a small ass room, you know. We got a lot of trash outside to deal with. This house is old, it's falling apart, certain things are fucked up. Like, it wasn't a coincidence when we first got in. Like, as soon as we got in this house, the air conditioner just messed up and died on us. Now, mind you, it was old, but for it to just break on us as soon as we get in this house, you can't tell me that was a coincidence. That was meant to happen. Certain things just happen, man, but not once did I complain about being in this house. I don't give a fuck anymore. I made it this far in life, man. I have no reason to complain about shit. I don't. Because I see people in the world who have it worse than me, man. People with no water, people with no legs, people with no arms, people who are blind, man. People who can barely do by themselves, for themselves. People without a chance to live, people who are old and they say they regret certain things, young people who are homeless or they don't have a will to live, depressed people, you know. But I got a gift, man. Everybody has a gift, but I have a gift and I want to see it through. God allowed me to see this shit early, you know. God allowed me to go through all the shit that I went through in life, the bullying, the back and forth moving, this small room, you name it, man. I didn't go through it all, but I went through a lot of shit in my life, you know. So I personally don't have anything to complain about nowadays, man. Because I know that God gives us enough that we can handle. He never gives us more than we can handle. He always gives us just enough. But it's up to us to work through that. We can either fall or we can rise to the occasion and fight through it. And I'm a fighter, man. I've been fighting my whole life. And I wasn't always thinking like this. I didn't always believe that I had a reason to do this. I didn't always believe that God was there. I wasn't always aware. I wasn't always thinking clearly. Sometimes I used to blame other people for the stupid shit that I did and said. But when it's all said and done, man, I learned. I learned. But I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to let you guys know we all got our problems, but there's always somebody out there who has it worse than you. So count your blessings, man, and just be good about it, you know? And if you got a dream, chase that shit, because you only get one, you know? So again, thanks for watching, and I just wanted to share that with you guys.